Okay, good morning, leaders. I just want to welcome you all to this wonderful morning. It's another day. And today I chose to talk about emotional intelligence. Because as we are building a business where we will be dealing with other human beings, we are prospecting, we are reaching out to people we don't know, we are and these people, it's not just people, it's emotions that we want to bring into our leadership. It's emotions that we want to partner up with. So this is why I chose this important topic, that it's also very, very important for us to take it along in our journey as FBOs, or as people who want to build this business for a lifetime. So let me see if I can. So then the question now becomes, what is emotional intelligence? Yeah, as FBOs, why do we need this emotional intelligence? What is it? So emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, to understand, to manage, to influence emotion. So we need to recognize, first of all, the emotion. We need to understand that emotion. Then we need to learn to manage it and also be able to influence the emotion that we see in ourselves and also that we see in other people. So notice that there that it says in yourself. So it starts with you first. Like I say, this businesses, we are building a business. You are the business. A business starts with you. So when it comes to emotional intelligence, it's very, very important to know and be able to manage those emotions. Because as like I said before, we are not working with furniture. We are working with other human beings. So it's important to understand how other human beings behave so that we can also be able to influence them in a way that will build us up. Okay. So now that we understand what emotional intelligence is, let's see why emotional intelligence is important. Why do we need to have that EI or the EQ? Or, some people, they are good when it comes to intellectual IQ, but then we want also to be able to manage and know and have those emotions in check. So here I have, in my preparation, I have the benefits of why it's good in our personal life, but I want to focus mainly in our professional life as business people. So how will emotional intelligence benefit us in our professional life when we have our emotions in check? This will help us to increase leadership effectiveness. Yeah? Leadership effectiveness. Now, what does that mean to increase leadership effectiveness? It means like we need to understand, you need to know who you are as a leader, who you are, how you are as a leader, what do you do as a leader, and how do you intend to improve your leadership skills professionally. Because when you're in this business, you are becoming a leader by default. So it's also a thing that you yourself, you need to be that kind of leader that will also be effective and help your team to grow and all of that. So which goes to the next one of it improves the teamwork and collaboration. When we have emotional intelligence, we will help our team work together better, and we will also have the teamwork that we need to have in order to build our business. The third thing is that it enhances decision making and problem solving. Right. So if your emotions are not in check, you can't be a good decision maker, because you'll be making decisions on emotions. You'll be making emotional businesses. Emotional decisions. But now being an FBO, being a business person, you don't want to make decisions based on emotions. You want to make your decision based on facts. So having that intelligence, having that emotional intelligence and emotional control of yourself will also um, that is how it will also affect your decision making and your problem solving skills. So now emotional intelligence, it affects, or it has those 5 key areas. You need to have self-awareness. You need to have empathy. You need to have motivation. You need to have self-regulation. And also, you need to have social skills. When all of this are checked, then we can say that we are emotionally intellectual people. We can check our emotions. So I want us this morning to go just a bit through a few of them that I've chosen to discuss this morning, if not all. The first one is now the self-awareness. Why do we need self-awareness? What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to understand your emotions and the triggers. What are your emotions? What triggers you? Like when you look at yourself, when you self introspect yourself, like what triggers you? What are those actions that just work on your nerves and then you're just like, I can't? What is that? Do you know what they are? Have you identified them? So it's very important as a leader to be self-aware of what is it that triggers me, what are the emotions that I have, and how can I be able to control this? Now, what is the benefits of being self-aware? What are the benefits of self-awareness? Self-awareness, my leaders, it helps us to manage our emotions efficiently. We want to be managing ourselves. Before we can manage other people, it's important we need to learn to manage ourselves. We need to learn to know how to put our own emotions in check. Ne? We can't be checking our other people if we don't know how to check ourselves. You cannot be wanting to check other people and put other people in their place. But then when tables are turned, you don't want people to correct you or to say anything about you. So we want to check our emotions efficiently. We want to manage them. So it's important to know what you are and who you are. If you do not know yourself and what you are and who you are and what triggers you, you will not be able to manage those emotions and keep them, under control. The other benefit is that it helps with self-confidence. You see, if you have self-awareness of yourself, if you have that emotional intelligence of yourself, it boosts your self-confidence. That self-confidence, self-confidence, Self-confidence is that thing that you do this certain thing so good, or you are so good in this area, nobody can tell you anyhow, you know? That is what self-confidence is. Even if they come and say, no, here, let me say, for example, the way you maybe dress, for example. It's just a random example. But if you know that you always put effort in how you dress, I mean, you know, that's your self-confidence already. Nobody can come and tell you anything about yourself, because you already know, you are aware of yourself, that when it comes to dressing, I do put in the effort. Ne? So it's important to know that. And also it helps in reducing stress and anxiety. And this stress and anxiety is like, when it comes to, if you are triggered, going back to triggers, Do you know when to talk? If someone maybe says something on the group, because we are in this team irreplaceable, we are in a group with people with big, huge personalities. And if you don't know to check yourself and to know your own emotions and your own triggers, people might say something on the group that just, and then because you don't know how to control yourself, you just go off the rail and off the handle, and you know. So I heard a quote once that was said that anyone who can make you angry owns you. Anyone who can make you angry, that person owns you, because they've taken power over you. They have so much power over you because now you are reacting the way they want. So when we also know our own emotional triggers, it'll help us to reduce the stress and the anxiety in our life. So now that we know, if we know what triggers us, if we know our emotions and we have them in check, how do we react when we know ourselves? This is now the second aspect of emotional intelligence, is self-regulation, how we react. Now, this is the ability to control impulsive feelings and adapt to changing circumstances, being adaptable. We control now. Now we come in the position of, I recognize that emotion, I understand that emotion, but now how am I going to react to that? If someone says something that offends us in the group, or even if it's not in the group, if our team member, you know, when you are working with people, you will rub each other's shoulders, you know. So when that person says that, think before you explode. It's now where you need to learn to control how you will react to whatever is said or whatever is done. And what are the benefits of self-regulation? Promotes calmness and resilience in a stressful situation. Some people, they don't like, when it comes to adapting to something, some people are not good with adapting to changes. Some people are not good when it comes to controlling. But it's very important to remember that not everything said should bother you. We need to learn that. We need to master that. That not everything that is said by someone should bother us. We don't need to always be the ones to reply. We don't need to always be the ones to have something to say. We don't always need to be the one to 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 what, to put out fires. Sometimes let other people come in and put out the fire. Because sometimes you will think that you are helping by saying something, but then you might just add more fuel to the fire. So when we know how to control our own emotions, it's the calmness and the resilience that we can have. And it also leads to better decision making. We make better decisions. Yeah? So at home, when you are triggered, you are that type of person who don't control. You just open your mouth anyhow. You know, people, they just know you. But now, when it comes to your teammates, this is now a different setting. This is a professional setting where you don't need to answer anyhow. You need to act and be professional. You cannot be wanting to come off as a professional person, but then when things are said and when things are done, you act like, you know. I don't want to, for lack of better words, I don't, but you leaders, you get what I mean, yeah? You do get what I mean. And the benefits of self-regulation, it also fosters emotional stability. You will know how to center yourself. Like I said, you don't need to react to everything that is said. It's not your battle to fight. Some battles are not yours to fight. So because some people are very good at going to inherit other people's fights. But when we are emotionally stable, when we are stabilized in our emotions, we will be able to be in a better position to control and have emotional stability and even have our own peace of mind, you know. So this is why when it comes to emotional intelligence, self-regulation is very, very important. Which brings us to the other aspect, which is self-motivation. When we know how to control our own emotions, we will know how to, despite the chaos, despite the stressful situation, whatever might be going on in our team, people are not working together. This one is not, when you're calling this one to ask about the CCs as well, or whatever the case may be, they don't want to be asked, and there they are in their emotions, and. But you now, as a leader, as a business owner on your own personally, how are you going to motivate yourself despite the chaos? That's why it is important when we self-motivate ourselves or when we motivate ourselves, we need to be able to stay driven even when challenges arise. We need to stay centered. We need to stay put and know what our goal is. Now, the benefit of motivation, it keeps you focused on long-term goals instead of short-term emotions. Guys, leaders, I love this very, very much. Because being invested in emotionally in things that don't require emotional investments, you tend to forget. Now, because you are trying to deal with this issue and put out these fires between the other leaders in the group or what, you get distracted from your goal and your mission. Now you are not even doing your CC generating activities because you are here putting out fires, because you are the problem solver, even before you are asked to come solve problems. Sometimes it's better, let people solve their own problems and you stay focused, stay motivated, and remember that you are in here for the long term. You are in here to build a business for the long term. So you don't want to be embroiled in whatever emotions are going on. So you need to also be able to keep your eye on the goal. It's very, very important to self-motivate yourself, ground yourself, center yourself. Remember why we are in this business. Remember why you choose to do the business and stay driven, even if the house is burning, for example. No? So it's always important to do that. Because also, when we are self-motivated, it will help us to be empathetic. We will have empathy. Here, leaders, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel? How does it make you feel when you invite a potential prospect to a meeting and they don't show up? What emotions come? What do you feel? You can just type there in the chat box, like you invite a person or a prospect. We are having this meeting tonight at this time. You send them the link. The person say, okay, I will attend. And later when the time comes, they are not there. They are not in the meeting. Their phone is off. How do you feel? What emotions do you feel? Do you just feel bad? Is that all you feel? Do you feel anger? Do you feel frustration, regret for even inviting them? Tired, sad? Do you feel discouraged? These are all valid emotions. These are valid emotions because you use your energy to invite the person, eh? And it's not just one person, it's several people. But then, when you are emotionally intelligent, you need to understand other emotions, other people's emotions and perspective. So empathy, being empathetic, what does it mean to be empathetic? Empathy is not the same as sympathy. Empathy is like when you put yourself in another person's shoes. You are like, you are feeling what they are feeling. You are in there with them. You are in the mud there with them. Feeling sorry is like an outside feeling, but empathy is when you are, yeah, you are right there in the box with them. So understanding their emotions helps. And what is the benefit of being empathetic? The benefit is you strengthen personal and professional relationships, my leaders. Because like I said, you are reaching out to people you do not know from where they come from, but you want them to come under your leadership. You want them to be your business partners. So being empathetic, it'll help you build these emotions because you don't want to build these emotions just for now, but you want, like we know, long-term relationships. Empathy also helps you to reduce misunderstandings and conflicts. Mm. And it improves teamwork and collaboration. So like what I asked earlier, if a person doesn't come to the meeting, how do you do? What do you react? How do you react? Do you go and bash them? You go block their number because they didn't attend the meeting. The meeting was so important and they didn't attend. No, that's not teamwork. That's not being a leader. But what you can do after your meeting is over, what you can do, even after the meeting, directly after the meeting or the next day, as quick as you can, you call the person to say, hey, I noticed you did not make it to the meeting. Is everything okay? That is a very, very important question to ask. Is everything okay? Don't make it about you. It's not about you. They didn't attend because of you. Or even if they did, you don't know. So it's always good to give people the benefit of the doubt. You don't know why they did not attend. Maybe their battery went dead. The phone is off. You don't know. Or they are in an area where there's no network. You don't know. Be empathetic. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't just assume. They didn't attend. Yeah, I also sense it. The way they were replying to me is like they did not want. So don't assume. Just be empathetic and call the person, check on the person. You tell them, I hope everything is all right. How are you doing? And then you take it from there. You keep inviting them until they say, I don't want. Just keep inviting. All right, I prepared my slide up to hear my leaders. So I want to say thank you so much. We've come to the end of our slide of emotional intelligence. So let's always remember to work on our emotional intelligence because we are working with people and we are not working with furniture. Thank you so much.